It's generally considered good practice to ensure that every sketch you create is fully constrained before moving on to create features. There are two ways to do this, with dimensions and actual tools in Inventor called constraints. Let's take a look at using dimensions. As you create sketch geometry, you can see a number next to your cursor. Here you see the number as I sketch a line. This number represents the length of the line. If I type in a value and press Enter, Inventor finishes the line segment and adds the dimension automatically. If I were to sketch a circle, this number represents the diameter of the circle. I can again type in a value, press Enter, and the dimension is automatically added. The ability to add dimensions as you sketch is really just a matter of convenience. You can always sketch the geometry. Click anywhere to place the diameter, and Inventor adds the circle without any dimensions. If I click and drag the circle, you can see it's still free to change size. If I try to click and drag the one with the dimension, it doesn't budge. That's because the dimension is the parameter that's driving its size. As you add dimensions, you begin eliminating degrees of freedom and start getting closer to having a fully constrained sketch. In some cases, you may find it's easier to just sketch the shape you want and come back later to add dimensions in a second step. There's only one dimension tool in Inventor for adding all types of dimensions, whether it's for lengths, angles, diameters, and so on. This tool is great because it knows the type of dimension needed based on the geometry you select. For instance, to dimension this circle, I click on it once, move the cursor, and click again to position the dimension. To change the value, I can click on it again, and a box pops up where I can type in the value. If I click a line, you can see Inventor recognized that I need a length. I'll click once more to position the dimension, click on it again, and type in a value, and press Enter. You do have some options on what to select. For a line, I can click the endpoints to establish its length. If I select an angled line, you can see that by moving the cursor, I can establish either the vertical length or the horizontal length. I'm not clicking anything as I do this, I'm simply moving the cursor. When you're happy with the alignment, you can click to place the dimension. But what if you want the true length of the line? All you have to do is right-click, and from the pop-up, you get the options for aligned, vertical, and horizontal. For the true length of the line, I'll need to select Aligned. Having these options are handy because sometimes you want to add a certain alignment, but positioning them on the screen is hard without having the alignment change automatically. I'll choose Aligned, type in a value, and press Enter to finish. After you have dimensions in place, you can easily modify them or delete them. Deleting them is easy. Just like any other sketch entity, you click to select it and press Delete on your keyboard. Be sure to turn the dimension tool off before trying to select them, or Inventor will think you want to modify the value. You can also select several dimensions using the Control selection and delete them all at once. With the Dimension tool turned off, to modify a dimension, simply double-click the value, and the box reappears, allowing you to input a new dimension. And that's all there is to it. Dimensions certainly help to control the geometry and restrain your sketches. In the next lesson, we'll look at how to use constraints that provide further parametric control using geometric relationships.